Well, today our topic is why factory acceptance test FAT will become a game between the buyer and the supplier. Have you ever wondered why some factory acceptance tests fail? Even if the equipment seems to be working very well. The biggest problem is often not the equipment itself, but the differences between the buyer and the supplier. Many people think factory acceptance test is just the last step before shipment. The equipment runs, customer approval, and payment completed, and then the equipment is shipped. In fact, customized automation projects are much more complex. When a project enters the FAT, several months of engineering changes, processor and customer requirements may have accumulated together. If these changes are not properly recorded, then when both parties enter the FAT, may have completely different expectations. The supplier thinks the equipment has met the approved technical agreement. The customer thinks the equipment should meet the latest production requirements. Both parties think they are right. This is why FAT often becomes a negotiation rather than a technical test. The first hidden risk is the technical agreement. A successful FAT requires a technical benchmark agreed by both parties. If engineering changes are made through verbal communication rather than formal approval, then disputes are almost inevitable. The second risk is acceptance criteria. A device that can operate normally doesn't necessarily mean it's ready for production. Professional FAT verification should confirm production stability, repetition, safety functions, alarm response, and traceable performance, rather than just prove that the equipment can operate. The third risk involves payment and delivery. Many contracts require to complete the FAT test before the equipment is shipped. However, production pressure sometimes prompts before receiving the phased payments to deliver the equipment in advance. Once the equipment leaves the commercial initiative will change, and the FAT issue may quickly evolve into a payment dispute. Here is a real case. A supplier completed a customized production line, and because the customer urgently needed agreed to ship in advance, the customer promised to pay after delivery. The equipment was successfully put into payment for the FAT stage was delayed for nearly 2 years. During this period, software modifications, process optimization, and various improvement requests were constantly linked to the original FAT payment. Together. The real problem is not the lack of risk management. So what should the company do? First, establish a controlled technical agreement. Second, record every engineering change in writing. Third, before the FAT starts, clearly define quantifiable acceptance criteria. Finally, according to the contract requirements, FAT acceptance and payment nodes and the delivery process are consistent. With the increasing complexity of automated systems, more and more international manufacturing companies the equipment introduce independent technical reviews and on-site witnessing services to identify hidden technical and commercial risks. Because a successful factory acceptance test not only proves that the equipment can operate, but also the entire project is ready for delivery. Have you experienced similar FAT challenges? Welcome to share your experience in the comments.